Hey everybody, Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. I thought I would sit down with you today and talk New Year's resolutions, goals, improvements, whatever you want to call them. Because I did my New Year's resolutions a little bit differently this year than I usually do. In the past, I've kind of made one New Year's resolution, like overall I want to do X in my life this year. And some years that has worked out, and some years that has not worked out. For example, a few years ago, my New Year's resolution was to touch things once. I read that somewhere in a blog or something. To help keep your house clean and stuff, to touch things once. Like you have it in your hand, you put it away right now. You don't put it down somewhere right. That worked okay. Last year, I had a New Year's resolution of minimalizing, which was a little too broad. It kind of worked. I switched over to a capsule wardrobe. I've got a couple videos about my capsule wardrobe. I don't know where I'm going to put them. Up there, down there. I'll link them somewhere for you. But that worked out okay. And I did do the KonMari method to my house like 1.5 times. And I moved. All of which I thought would for sure, dictate that I was a minimalist now. No. I have a long ways to go yet, but I am enjoying my progress. But this year, instead of like one overarching New Year's resolution, what I decided to do was have categories and have goals in each of those categories, like year-long goals. And then each month, I make a new goals sheet of like specifically that month, what am I working on out of these sheets of year-long goals. So I don't know if I'm going to share my monthly goals every month. That seems kind of boring, but it's the beginning of the year. So my year-long goals, here we are. I have 4 categories. And what I did is I printed off from the blog Creativity Prompt, I printed off these sheets. And then I've cut out the individual little columns. And I got to put some kind of edging on them so that I can punch them and put them in my Happy Planner. But I'm going to put one at the beginning of each section of my Happy Planner because that's how my Happy Planner works. I have a section for each of these things already. So here are my 4 categories. YouTube and blog. Those are together. Home, or my job. You could call this your job if you wanted to. My family, and personal growth, self-care types of stuff. Those are my 4 categories. Okay, first of all, YouTube and blog. I have notes, don't mind me. I'm looking for my notes. This is, I don't know if you'd call this a hobby, a side job, what you'd refer to this as, but YouTube and my blog put together. I have some goals for the course of the year. Okay, I would like to post on my blog weekly and post a video weekly. So far, so good. 2 for 2. I'd like to do more scheduling of videos and posts. Like really dump into these things when I have time and then just set up a schedule so that one goes up each week instead of feeling like every week is a deadline. I haven't done that yet. I haven't needed to yet. We'll see how that goes. On both fronts, I would like to increase my viewership and my readership. I'm not hung up on a number of subscribers or a number of people like following my blog. That's not that important to me. But I feel like what I have to say is useful, valuable, something that I would have liked to look at when I was first starting out being a stay-at-home mom. And so like view numbers do matter a little bit to me because that means people are seeing my content. Maybe people that I'm helping. Maybe somebody who needs a little grace in their day is getting to view my content a little bit. So I'd like to increase those things. And in order to do that, I would like to do more linking between my own content and between my content and elsewhere on the internet. And I would also like to do more promoting. Just today, for the first time ever, I made a pinnable image of my blog post that went live this morning and put it on Pinterest. And I've been doing a little bit of Instagram promoting a little bit. So far, so good. I'd like to see if I can streamline those things. I don't know if there's a way to I can already streamline my Instagram and my Facebook. And I did set up a Facebook page for my blog. So I know I can integrate those two things, but I wonder if I could integrate kind of all of it to get it to all kind of fire off at once instead of having to go through this lengthy process. We'll see. Then on to my job. Now, if you have a job outside the home, if you are not even a mom watching this, you're just a cool person. Maybe you like thrifting or capsule wardrobes or whatever. This would be the job category. So for me, my job is my home. It's my housekeeping, my cleaning, purging, organizing, shopping for my home, all that stuff. That is my job. So as far as my home goes, my goals here, get out my sheet of goals, are a little bit more particular. Not like, I'd like to keep a neater home. That's the kind of thing that I would fail at, because what the heck does that mean? But more specifically, I want a meal plan every day of every week. This is something that I always thought I was going to do, and I did for a while, and then I kind of fell off the bandwagon and stopped planning the weekends, and then gradually it became I stopped planning altogether. It's not working out. It's causing some minor strife in our home. It causes me stress during the day. Meal plan every week, all week. So far, so good. I'd like to keep up a cleaning list of monthly and like annual or biannual tasks that need doing that I forget about. Because I have attention problems, like for real, I have ADD. I can't remember long-term like things that just flitted into my mind. Like I'll see something that's dirty or messy and be like, oh, I should do that sometime. Never gonna get done. I never remember to suck out underneath the heat vents in my house. I never remember to like wipe the legs of the dining room table. I never remember to like clean the mini blinds. No. I have a hard time remembering to change my sheets because that's once a week. Like, so I've got a list now. Again, I found a free printable online, fits in my Happy Planner, of monthly cleaning tasks. And I took the list provided and my own things that I'd come up with, and I combined them together. And now I'm checking that off, and I've already done a few things for January. I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then semi-annual things that once a month is too much, but like they do need to be done, like cleaning the gutters, cleaning on top of my kitchen cabinets back here, cleaning out the light fixtures, sucking out underneath the heat vents, stuff like that. And then these three are more general. I'd like to be in a state of supplied but not storing. As in, I'm not going to run out of toilet paper, but I don't have 16 cases of toilet paper in my closet. I'm not going to run out of cleaning spray, but I don't have 3 or 4 or 5 or 12 in my closet. I'm not going to run out of Kleenex. I'm not going to run out of pantry staples, but I don't have so many that it's clogging up my life. I personally do not like it. It brings me the opposite of peace of mind to have like a closet packed with backups of things. For some people that works, and I am so happy for you. But for me, if I have like 16 containers of dish soap waiting for me to use them, or like 12 boxes of noodles waiting for someday I might need them, or like 50 pounds of flour just in case, that is too much for me. I get into almost like a cross between feeling like a hoarder and feeling a little bit of panic that the stuff's going to go bad. It's like both. It's like I don't want to use it because I have a backup stash, but also I'm freaking out that I'm not going to use it before it somehow expires. So I am not doing that. I'm not keeping backups upon backups, but I want to be in a constant state of having enough, not running out of essentials, but not having backups. So like keeping one on the shelf. And in order to do that, I'm kind of writing down how long it takes me to use things. I'm sort of a housekeeping nerd. I have written down how many rolls of toilet paper we go through as a family per month so that I can figure out how frequently I need to buy, a normally large size pack of toilet paper, and then that's it. I just plan that I buy that every 6 months, and that's it. I don't have a million. I'm keeping track of how much shampoo my husband goes through, how much paper towel we go through as a family, that kind of thing, so that I can buy it when I need it, a little bit before I run out, and not have any sitting on the shelf. That is what I want to do. I'm in a constant state of decluttering. Still KonMariing, sort of. Like, I'm not getting out all the things in a category and going through them anymore. I've done that twice. But I am constantly looking around me like, I don't really need that. I don't really need that. Today, for example, I was washing the coffee cup that I used this morning for my tea, which was my gray and blue one. I think I showed it in my favorites. And this afternoon for my coffee, I got out this one, which is my other favorite coffee mug. A Thoreau quote from Walden, which is my favorite book. Giant. Okay. And I thought to myself, if I use one for my tea and one for my coffee, and I wash the dishes twice a day, why do I have any more coffee mugs? It's a mystery. So that's the kind of constant KonMariing that I'm doing. I'm always thinking, do I have too many of this? Can I get rid of this? Yes. So that's where I'm at in that process. And lastly, I'm trying to lower the amount of waste in my home. We are not going to be a zero waste family. There is no way. I know myself and my husband and my children too well. But I am trying to reduce the amount of waste we produce. I've gone back to cloth diapering. I took off of it for a while, kind of, I don't know, right before we moved. And then while we were moving, of course, adding extra load of laundry a week just was not a thing during the moving process. And then shortly after we moved, things started happening, okay? Like, I got mastitis, my kids got hand, foot, and mouth, I got hand, foot, and mouth, we all came down with a cold, I threw out my back, then it was Christmas and we were traveling, like, but finally, a couple of weeks ago, when my back, like, completely went back to normal, I would say, completely felt healed, I thought, I should go back to cloth diapering. And we are down to the last brick of diapers out of the case of diapers. And I really committed to it this week, and I've been cloth diapering again, and it's been a breeze. My son is now so old that he's not wetting very often. So, like, I only have to change his cloth diaper like 5 times a day instead of like every 10 minutes. It's fantastic. So that's one way we're going less waste. I am trying to consider packaging when I purchase. How can I get the least amount of packaging or get recyclable packaging? I do not live in a place that lends itself to no package grocery shopping. I live in the United States in the Midwest, and we're not a super progressive place to be, really. So this concept of like bulk shopping, bring your own container, that doesn't exist where I live. Perhaps in the nearest metro areas it might, but that's an hour and a half and 2.5 hours away to go shopping. So what I would save in packaging, I would chew up in fossil fuels by driving my car there. So now I just think, if there's 2 things and they're roughly the same price, but one comes in recyclable packaging, I'll buy that one. So that's where we're going. All right. I'm already at like 10 minutes. Holy cow. Okay. We got family and personal goals. Let's do family goals first, shall we? Okay, the biggest family goal we have. My husband and I actually talked about this. We have not discussed all these things, but my husband and I talked out this big family goal. We will have one completely free day every weekend. My husband's a teacher, so he's not free of working on the weekends. I'm not free of work on the weekends. I'm a stay-at-home mom. But we will not plan activities for both days of a weekend. We will not. We refuse. For example, this weekend, my mother-in-law called and wanted to know if we could come to Sunday dinner. Okay, my mother-in-law lives an hour away. She has Sunday dinner every Sunday with all the kids who can make it. We usually don't make it. She asked if we could come this Sunday. We could celebrate some birthdays while we were there. We looked at the calendar. There was nothing on Saturday, so we said, yes, we can come on Sunday. Last weekend, she wanted us to come to a basketball tournament for my niece on Saturday, but we had the faculty Christmas party on Sunday, so we said no. And that was the first time we've said no to like a family gathering, especially on my husband's side, in a very long time. And I think it's the only time we've ever said it when we weren't double booked on that actual day. But we have committed one activity per weekend or one day of activities per weekend because it just gets to be too much. The kids can't handle it. We're stressed out. We feel like we're never in our own home. We enjoy being here. We love our new house. We want to spend time here together quietly. And this is a commitment we're making. We are going to say no matter what, if it's the second activity in a weekend. I have a personal commitment that I'm making to my children. I am not going to use devices while I am playing with them. I am not the mom who turns off my device at 7 o'clock in the morning and doesn't turn it back on until 9 o'clock at night. That doesn't work, considering that I'm running a blog on a YouTube channel. And also, my smartphone is the home phone. We don't have a home phone. So I can't exactly turn it off and put it away. But when I go into the playroom to play with my boys, I do not take my tablet or my phone. I refuse. I will not bring my laptop into the living room to play with the boys. If we're watching a movie together, I don't have out a device. That is time with my children, specifically. And then personal growth-wise, let me find that list. I want to schedule my leisure activities. I talked about this a little in a blog post that just went live this morning. I'll link that, about bringing vacation home and how during vacation we tend to plan ourselves, plan things that feed our soul, plan personal growth activities. Like, oh, while I'm on vacation, I'm going to journal, I'm going to read, I'm going to sit on the beach, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to whatever. And then in our daily life, we don't do them. So I am scheduling my leisure activities in my Happy Planner, which you can't see, but it's sitting here in front of me. I have every morning, I have blocked out that I am going to have tea or coffee with myself and either read or write something. And I even said which things I'm going to read or write. Every couple of days, I read the parenting book that I'm currently reading. Every couple of days, I read my leisure book. Every couple of days, I write a blog post, or I do some Bible reading, or some journaling, or I write in the baby books. And I've got that all planned out. And then in the evenings after the kids go to bed, I've got planned out if I want to do a face mask that night, if I want to read my leisure book that night, if I want to watch a movie with my husband that night. That's all blocked out. And it's wonderful. It's like the final step to allowing myself to do these things is that I've planned to do them. It's just like planning my chores. That makes me committed to them. Now I have to do them. I am committed to my own personal growth in these times. Now maybe reading isn't personal growth to everybody. But to me, not only is reading like parenting books personal growth, that kind of makes sense. But reading just fiction is like my most beloved activity. I'm not sure if this is not your paradigm, if I can possibly express to you what it's like. But I love reading. I have always, since I learned to read, loved reading. If you gave me, 3 hours of time and said you can absolutely do whatever you want, I would read. I love it so much. It feeds my soul. And I'm coming from a standpoint of, I don't read the latest stuff. I don't necessarily read what just came out. I don't read YA novels unless I'm researching to use them for teaching. I read classics. I'm really into Victorian lit. I enjoy Dickens and Austen and Bronte, and even just saying those names, I'm picturing the covers of my favorite books in front of me, and I just, so nerd alert. Under that category, I plan to read 12 books. That doesn't sound like a lot for somebody who claims to love reading, but considering that in the last few years I've read 1 or 2 books a year for fun, 12 is a step. I want to read 12 books. In order to do all that stuff, I want to get up at 6 a.m. every day. I have been doing well so far, having my tea or coffee with myself, doing my reading or writing. It's been beautiful. If you haven't read, I always screw up the name of this, Miracle Mornings? Yes, Miracle Mornings. I'll link that down below too. Yeah, it's a good book. Weekly Bible readings on my personal growth list. Now, obviously, I've planned that out with my leisure activities, so ta-da, it's getting done. More minimalism, to me, is a personal growth thing. This is not under the house category because it's about me personally letting go of things I don't need, living with the fewest things possible because it will increase the peace of our household. And I want to shop for fun once a month or less. I got into a rut after we got here of shopping for fun every day. Not every day. Why did I say that? Every week. because we needed things for a new home, and it got to be the holidays before I knew it, and it was like, oh, I'm Christmas shopping, which I was, but like the budget cannot handle this anymore. We have sort of an expense coming up. I can't really talk about it much right now yet, but we have a big step in the works, and no, I'm not pregnant. Not pregnant. But we have a big step coming up in the works for our family, and that is going to require what I can only call fluid money for a while. It's going to be almost unbudgetable. We will not know, how much money needs to go out to make this successful. So in order to do that, I need to really cut back on how I'm spending pocket money and not spend any. So once a month or less. So far this month, I have not gone shopping for fun. So there we go. And almost 20 minutes later, those are my 4 categories of goals for 2017. I will check back in periodically. If you've got any questions about my goals or you want to tell me about your goals, by all means, go right ahead. Leave me a comment. Click the button down below to subscribe and make sure that you get to see all my new videos and that other people do too. Press like if you enjoyed it. That helps people view my videos. And make sure you leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. I will respond. I promise. See you later. Bye.